Hey y'all, I'm Blaine Phillips.
And I'm Jason-LeVan.
We're married, like just a minute ago, but we've been together for 14 years.
We have a teenage daughter.
Which means she's basically an adult, right?
We're also growing a business on the side together.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Through all of that, we've learned how to improve so many aspects of our lives and show up in an amazing way.
So we decided to host a podcast to share our journey with you.
It's called Let's Do Life Together, because that's just what we want to do with you.
So if you could use some tips and tricks on how to make life a little smoother,
then you're in the right place.
come on in and let's do life. Welcome back. It's episode 13. We're talking about cheerleaders versus coaches. Before we get started and dig in, I do want to read one of these reviews that we've gotten, and we encourage everybody to, of course, subscribe, rate, and review. This one from Mrs. Smitty, 99. I love the way Blaine and Jason share about their own life experiences in order to help others see the changes we could all make to improve our own life and relationships. So it isn't just fine. Let's make it all great. I enjoy that Blaine makes me laugh and keeps it real. She does that. And Jason makes me smile as he always breaks things down to easy understanding. They are a great pair. So thank you so much for that. Keep them coming. We'll keep sharing them from time to time. But for now, let's dig in. We're talking today about cheerleaders versus coaches.
Yeah, we're in the process of still digging into the new year. We're only a couple weeks in. All is not lost. All is never lost, P.S. But we're attacking it, right? You got your goals. We're digging in. We're going for it. And so let's talk about this concept a little bit. What is a cheerleader versus what is a coach? Who are those people in your lives? And what do you need maybe a little more of and maybe you need a little less of, I think. Or at least I did.
Right. So cheerleaders are good to be supportive and kind of listen and just try to lift you up, and you're rah-rah, right? You're doing great. Keep doing what you're doing. You can do it. Cheerleader is not my natural style.
What? I never noticed.
You're probably shocked.
Yes, I am more of a cheerleader. That's for sure. I do sing the praises and do the encouraging. Jason is not, but cheerleader is that person who is always encouraging you, no matter what you're doing. They are there and they're encouraging you. Just you could be building a Legos or running a marathon, whatever it is. They're like, "Oh my gosh, you're the greatest ever," and they're encouraging you along. They might not be the best at telling you the hard truths, the things that you probably need to hear. We need to hear it sometimes, and these people are probably not the ones that are going to tell you that. Are you sure? Have you considered this? Not shooting down your goals or your dreams, but just making you think about it a little more, being a little more pragmatic. That's not them. They are rah-rah. They are not, hey, I think that's all great, but have you checked this part out yet?
Right. And there's definitely a place for each of these. So cheerleader, you need cheerleaders. You need people in your corner who are always encouraging, that you can just tell them whatever you're doing and they're going to back you and encourage and give you that rah-rah, let's go kind of attitude.
Oh my gosh, yes, because there's going to be valleys in whatever you're working towards in life. Like whatever goal you're after, there's going to be valleys where you're like, oh my gosh, why am I doing this? I'm never going to get there. It feels so far away. Probably time to phone in a cheerleader, and they will encourage you and build you back up to chase whatever it was that you are chasing in the first place.
And I think it's one of those things like I said, I'm not that cheerleader role. I don't do that. So if what you need at that moment is just that encouragement, you're probably not going to come to me for that. I fall into some of that stereotypical guys want to just fix things. Well, that's, cheerleaders don't fix things. That's not part of their role.
It's very true. Many conversations around here begin with me saying, I want you to listen. I don't need you to fix this. I just need to get this out for a moment, Jason. Don't go into fix-it mode. Can you go into loving, supportive, talk to me like I'm crying mode? That'd be great. Thanks.
Right. So it's kind of on you to identify what you need in different scenarios. So, hey, I need a cheerleader right now, or I need a coach right now. Those are two very different things, and you have to have that awareness.
It's true, because chances are cheerleaders aren't skilled in whatever you're working on either. Like if you're working towards running a marathon, maybe you've got some cheerleaders that are marathon runners, but probably not. Your cheerleaders are just your best friend, your mom, your whatever. So they're just encouraging you, but they're not actually able to give you any real advice going toward that actual goal that you're going towards. If you feel like quitting and you don't want to run in the rain, they'll be like, you got it, girl. You can do it. They have no idea what it takes to actually do it that day, but they are right there to tell you to go rock it out. And sometimes we need that, and that's good.
Right. So an example from our life is the soccer field and the sideline. So Sienna started playing soccer. Well, she had two very different parents on the sideline. She had a cheerleader.
That's me.
Go get the ball, get it. You know, you learn some of the lingo coming along. And then she had me, because I've played soccer. I grew up in the sport. So it wasn't me yelling on the sideline. It was, before and after the game with coaching.
And we think she needed both. I mean, she has a coach, yes, but it's helpful to go, and the coach is looking at the team as a whole. Her dad is looking at her for the most part, and her skill set and what she needs. And then she needs encouragement sometimes. It gets hot and they run a lot, and you need some encouragement. And I'll never forget one game she came off and she said, there was a kid, another teammate on, and said, "Did your mom just say, 'Great job, girlfriend'?" She's like, "Yep, that would have been my mom. My mom's over there saying, 'Great job, girlfriend,' because I don't know soccer, but I know that we need encouragement when times get hard." So it's a great example of that. Chances are also your cheerleaders already adore you, right? They're your fans. They're your people. They got your back no matter what. So they're probably not going to hold your feet to the fire when you want to take your foot off the gas of whatever you're going towards. Like, Sienna on the soccer field as an example, I can see that she's getting tired. I'm her mom. I'm her cheerleader. I'm like, oh, she's getting tired. Maybe she's not giving the best effort. It'll be okay.
Right. Or it's the, shaking pom-poms when you're getting blown out of the game.
Right.
So it's, cheerleaders are still doing that. They're still, yelling and encouraging, but
meanwhile, Jason's like, "No, that wasn't good." No, that wasn't good. She can do better. She's not actually tired. She's just not focused, or she's not concentrating, or whatever you do on the soccer field. I don't know, but there's a difference. You can take your foot off your gas to your cheerleaders, and you know that they are still going to cheer you just as loudly tomorrow. They're not going to hold your feet to the fire and push you to go a little harder. So as you've heard me talking, who is it? Like, think about it for a second. You already know. You already know who your cheerleaders are. Is it your mom? Is it your dad? Is it your best friend? Like, they got your back. No matter what harebrained idea or goal you tell them you're going after, they are your cheerleader, and they're always there supporting you. Let me tell you, if you have those people, if you have one, if you have more than one, you are blessed. So take a second and smile about them and be grateful. Even pause me and send them a quick text and just say, "Hey, thanks for always being there. Thanks for always supporting me." Because not all of us have that person that is a cheerleader, and they do have a place in your life, and they're needed. They're needed to pull you out of those valleys when you don't want to keep going. So be grateful that you have them, and make sure they know that you're grateful that they're in your life.
And I think you should also be aware of who isn't your cheerleader. So who doesn't fulfill that role, and just be aware of that, and don't seek them out in those times when you need the cheerleader.
Yeah, that's a great point. I've definitely fallen victim to that. And Jason's had to remind me, hey, that person's not your cheerleader. So probably don't want to go to them when you're in a valley and you need help for this thing that you're doing, because they're not your cheerleader and they don't get it. And they're not going to encourage you to keep going because they don't support what you're doing. Yeah, it's a great point. So that kind of that sums up a cheerleader, and we need them. Like we said, there's places in your life you need a balance. We are certainly not here to advocate that you need all cheerleaders and no coaches, or you need all coaches and no cheerleaders, because you need them both. But you need a balance, and you need to know who they are, and you need to have awareness, like Jason mentioned, of when you need one versus the other. So let's talk about coaches. What is a coach?
Right. So you need to, again, back to awareness, you need to identify what areas you need help with and what areas you need coaching with. So if I want to learn karate, I'm going to find a karate instructor, a karate coach, if you will.
Is that a dojo? Do you call those dojos?
I think maybe.
All right, sure.
Yeah, right. So you got to find your Mr. Miyagi to coach you in the ways of karate. But
you said karate.
Whatever area of life you want to improve in, or you need coaching in, then you seek out the person that has those skills.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know how to do something. You want to learn how to do something. You need a person who has the skill sets.
Right. So if you think about what does a coach do? So if you watch football, you see, the coach during the game has their plays, on that big laminated sheet, and they've coached the team throughout the week and practicing those plays. And it's, what is coaching? It's putting a game plan together or a strategy to win the game or to accomplish the goal.
And the first thing they did was to decide where their team is. Like, what are you, the team, whatever, what are you capable of? Like, if you go to Mr. Miyagi and you want to learn karate, then he wants to see, what do you know now? So the coach is going to start with, where are you? Because we're all in a different place. Everybody's on a different journey. Not better, not worse. You're just on a different chapter. So, okay, this is where you are. You're on chapter 1. Or maybe you haven't even cracked the book yet. Cool. That's what a coach is going to do, is establish that baseline of where you want to go, and then create a plan to help you improve on your skills, exactly step by step of what you need to do, and providing you the knowledge in the areas that you're lacking. You don't know about karate. You don't know what you don't know. We don't know what we don't know. You don't know what things you need to learn first. You might really like kicking, but if you haven't established a certain stance, you could easily injure yourself while you're trying to do karate kicks. And he knows that. So he's going to create your plan to teach you the proper stance that you need to have to keep you from injuring yourself or whatever. Clearly, you can tell I'm no Miyagi, but the point is the same regardless of what you want to learn. Where are you at? Where do you want to go? And what are the proper steps in the right order to get you there?
Right. So they're kind of filling the gaps. So you have, you're at point A and you're trying to get to point B, and your coach knows the path or the knowledge or has the skills involved to get to point B, and they fill that gap for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you commit to working with a coach for whatever it is, you're committed to them. And we talked about this a little bit in the episode before, but putting some skin in the game. And it's true, that commitment to someone else that is coaching you, not cheering you on. I'm not saying that coaches aren't encouraging, because they are certainly, but they are coaching you. It drives you to perform, to reach those thresholds that they've set for you. And I got to tell you, I haven't met much that fuels me quite like results fuel me. I mean, goal to do 10 push-ups, and I'm like at number 9 to do 9 push-ups on my toes. I'm so close. Those are results. When you started at 0, I'm pushing to 10, because getting those results, and then you get to 10, you're like, well, I did that. What else can I do? Results drive you, and having commitment to a coach is going to drive you to perform and to reach the benchmarks on that plan that you guys have created together.
And coaching support is kind of different. So instead of that rah-rah cheerleader, it's it's more of an unspoken just belief in your abilities and your skills. So if we stick with a sports metaphor, if you're named the starting quarterback, what does that say? The coach doesn't have to verbally say, I think you can help us win these games. It's just by you starting and being named the starter, all right, well, the coach has confidence in me, and that can motivate and inspire you.
Right. And that's so true, because like your cheerleaders in your life, your mom, you're on the team and you're wearing the jersey and they're like, whoa, that's my baby out there. And they're so excited, and you could like never leave the bench, but they're still excited and proud of you. But your coach giving you that starting quarterback position or whatever it may be, instilling that belief in you. Now we're talking about a person who is skilled in the area that I'm working on, and they know what they're talking about, and they see something in me and they choose me. That is freaking inspiring right there.
And outside of sports, so if we've mentioned our business coach in past episodes. Well, as we sit down and plan and strategize with that business coach, we set goals, and she doesn't, just say, yeah, you can do it. But she helps us set realistic goals. But if we had just come up with these, a year ago or 2 years ago, they would have been, out of reach, or we would have thought they're out of reach. So it's just, once you establish that relationship and you see, all right, well, I'm on the right track, I've got help, this coach believes that we are doing the right things and going in the right direction, and we can help X amount of people, it feels good. You feel like, oh, yeah, I am motivated, I can do it.
That's so true. I mean, when I do something, I have a business, a success, when we have a business in our success, and I tell my girlfriend, I've got this one, she's such a great cheerleader. I adore her. And she's always like, oh my gosh, that's so great. You guys are so awesome. And I appreciate those words. I do. I adore her. And I appreciate that she's always got my back and she's a cheerleader. But when I tell our coach, like when we do our business check-in that week and I get to report that success, and she replies back and says, that was a great job, you guys, and probably gives some points as to why it was great, you feel it in your core. Like, she knows what's up. She knows what we're doing. She's not just saying that because she always says that, because she doesn't always say that, because your coach doesn't always say great job. They break it down for real. And when she says great job, you feel it in such a different way. I mean, that's really the truth. I mean, Jason, we've pointed out a couple times, we've gotten help. We got coaching. We are right in the midst of getting coaching for our business. We are in the midst of getting coaching for our health and fitness journeys. And that looks different. My coach 5 years ago looks different than my coach now. And that's probably a good point to make too. You may need to change based on where you are. Where you are 5 years ago, I couldn't walk a flight of stairs without being out of breath. So I needed a different skill set to just teach me about nutrition and slowly using my body, versus the one now who's teaching me how I'm going to complete the Spartan. Yeah, Spartan wasn't even a word I knew existed 5 years ago. So we get help because we're not afraid to get the coach and have them put our feet to the fire and give us that action plan to get there, and then hold us accountable to it.
Right. And the focus has changed, year to year, month to month. So that's where we seek out different coaches for different reasons.
Yeah, great point. Different things. I mean, we've been coached in our, like I said, our health and fitness, in our business, in our marriage. That was a big one. We have done different in our finances. We've needed different levels to learn different things, getting out of debt versus setting yourselves up for the future. I mean, we need different coaches in different seasons of life for different things. And you need a cheerleader to encourage you, but you need a coach at times, and us having that awareness of knowing when we need which one has been important, I think. So what about you? where you've got your goals, right? You're well on your way. We're 2 weeks into 2019. You're working towards something, whether you have done the goal setting process with us or not, or you've just thought about it on your own. You're working towards something, a promotion at work, being a better parent, rebuilding your marriage this year, losing 10 pounds, running a marathon. I don't care what it is. I'm pretty sure whether you have said it out loud or just in your head, you've got a goal and you're maybe starting to work towards it, or maybe you're not because you don't know how to get there. It's possibly time. I'm going to go ahead and say it is time. It's time to ask for a coach, to commit to a coach that will work with you to create that plan, to encourage you along the way, to give you that real life feedback from a person who knows what's up in what you're doing, and then hold you accountable to what you want. You said you want this goal, so now it's time to do it, and let them hold you accountable to it.
Right. So if you're new to seeking out coaches, I would say find that one area, the goal that you've kind of rated as your most important or most urgent, and find help. Find somebody that will coach you through, at least to set up a strategy to help you get to your goals.
Absolutely. And if you're new here, guess what? That's what we do from a family perspective, that we help people reach their goals. We are coaches. We help coach life and get through those hard parts of whatever it is, if it's your family, if it's your marriage, if it's your health, those pillars of overall health that we focus on. And we would love to help you do the same. But whatever it is, figure out where you're going and figure out what you need to get there. Okay, are you officially pumped? Is 2019 like the best ever so far? I mean, it better be. You're only 2 weeks in, right? That's my goal. I'm still living off of the steam of a new year because I love it so much. So keep riding that wave and let's keep attacking our goals together. Next week, we're going to talk about something a little different, not necessarily goal setting, but I'm still attacking mine. Jason is still attacking his, and we're doing that daily over on social media. So follow me on Instagram if you're not already. My stories are where I keep it real, and you can see how I'm progressing in my goals and failing a little and succeeding when I don't want to. Or I always want. It's strange. Succeeding at times and failing at times. Just keeping it real. Thanks so much for being here. Again, your listening, your support, your feedback, your everything. It means so much to us. So until next week, rah rah. The New Year buzz is in full effect, and 2019 is ready for you to attack it. Are you ready, but just not quite sure how to get there? Feeling like you could use a little help creating a plan that will lead you directly to your vision? Good news! This month, we are offering 45-minute GPS calls to do just that. You need a direction, and our GPS calls, goal planning session, see what we did there, will get you the help you need. Head on over to blainephillips.com, click the Book a Call tab, select your time that works best for you, and then let's create a plan specific to you, your goals, and to ensuring this is your best year ever.